Welcome back. A newly constructed police substation in Prince George's County cannot open because, according to the county executive, the county doesn't have enough money to fund it. Members of the county council take issue with this claim. This morning, the NAACP held a press conference urging county leaders to open the station. Council Chairman Mel Franklin attended that event, and he joins us now. Chairman Franklin, thank you very much for your time. Help the public understand what is going on here. We're told the station has been built, it's ready, but it can't open because of money. How did we reach this place?
Sure, and thank you, Bruce, for having me on. And Sure. It's always great talking to your audience. This is a dispute over the budget. As you recall, we had a very big disagreement with the county executive over the budget. The county executive proposed a 15.6% tax increase. We did not approve that. He also proposed about almost $15 million in furloughs and layoffs of county employees, which would have predominantly hit public safety. And so we didn't approve that either. Instead, what we did was we said all county agencies should set aside 2% of their budgets in contingency in case there is any challenge during the year where we need additional revenue that's of a significant nature. And so the money is in the budget to address the issue of this new police station, which, frankly, the residents in southern Prince George's County have been pushing for about 15 years at least.
Tell us.
And so that's our disagreement. The county executive believes that the money is not in the budget and that not approving his budget of furloughs and layoffs is the cause of why it's not there. And we don't think that makes sense. We believe that laying off and furloughing public safety officers isn't good for the residents, and instead what we should do is have a dialogue with the county executive about how do we use the money that is available in contingency right now to address the issue not only of this police station, but of the budget going forward.
This District 7 county police substation is in the Fort Washington area.
It is.
Can you tell us about it and what the hope is when it does open?
Sure. So for quite a while, residents in southern Prince George's County, which is an area that is vast in terms of the area to cover. So if you're a police officer and you're trying to cover southern Prince George's County, because it's not as concentrated as the rest of the county, it's very difficult to cover. So this new police station would have filled that gap in what is essentially southern Prince George's County to provide quicker response times, more resources for police officers in that area, and it would have improved public safety. In advance, I might mention of the opening of MGM National Harbor, which is only a few minutes away, and is going to be a major commercial attraction, but is also going to bring the need for even a higher public safety presence. So this station would have helped, in our view, the preparation for public safety regarding MGM National Harbor.
County Executive Rashern Baker has just released a statement on this. There's been a lot of media coverage, and citizens are concerned, and I think in all likelihood they're not certain what to believe. But here's part of what the executive says in his statement. He says, in my veto letter to the county council chairman on June the 16th, I outlined the impact that their suggested cuts would have on our ability to provide service to citizens and residents of Prince George's County. In fact, I specifically indicated that if the council imposed certain budget reductions, it would likely lead to a delay in the opening of the District 7 police station. After receiving the letter, not one council member contacted my office to raise concerns, to request clarification, or to see verification that our assessment of the impact their cuts would have on government relations. Is this an accurate statement from the exec?
No, it is not. And there is some gamesmanship happening, and what we need to sort of hopefully do at some point in the near future is get beyond sort of the back and forth over the budget disagreement that we had. What the county executive's statement doesn't mention is that the statement he made in the letter was his veto of our budget. So essentially, when the county executive vetoes a budget, the council has a choice: either you override the veto and proceed differently, or you approve the county executive's proposal. Well, as I mentioned, the county executive proposed layoffs and furloughs for public safety. So that was the choice the county executive really left us. So that's really not a dialogue. And unfortunately, what the county executive's statement this morning gets wrong is that the council did not ask agencies to do a permanent cut. The only thing we said to agencies was, set aside 2% of your budgets temporarily so that we can make sure that we don't overspend the budget during the year. That money, Bruce, is sitting right in contingency in our budget and can be used to address this or other issues relating to the budget. But the county executive is, of course, aware of that. So that's why I look at that statement as a bit of gamesmanship as opposed to really being interested in addressing what is still, it appears, a disagreement over the budget.
I know at least one member of the Prince George's delegation to Annapolis, Delegate Tony Knotts, has issued a statement on this, and you have just come from an event. Can you tell us who was at the event and what the main message was?
Sure. The event was organized by my colleague, Councilmember Obie Patterson, who represents the particular area where the station would be located. He represents District 8. My colleague, Karen Tolles, who represents District 7, which is also very close to the station, was also there, as well as Senator C. Anthony Muse, former Councilmember Ingrid Turner, and former Delegate Veronica Turner, among other community leaders, and it's quite actually a surprisingly high turnout of community activists and leaders who are very concerned about this issue. And the message was very clear, and I should mention, because this came up a lot at the event, you know, the county executives announced interest in moving county government to a brand new building in the center of the county. The problem with that message is the optics of a police station sitting closed that we can't open while the county government builds a new headquarters for itself it's terrible optics. It doesn't look good to our residents. It doesn't look like we have their priorities at heart. So before we consider moving county government to a brand new headquarters, we need to open a police station that residents need for public safety.
The region is suffering a bit of an office glut right now. The office vacancy rate has crept up, not just in the county, but across the region for a variety of factors we won't talk about now because of time. But the county is using this moment to buy some buildings that it might be at a bargain price now, that might be more affordable now than they would have been in a more boom time. Is there a case to be made that, tradition notwithstanding, that Largo is a better place for the council and the executive to be because it's more central and closer to transit than where you are now, Upper Marlboro?
Sure, absolutely. And in fact, the Largo is one of our economic development priorities, and it would be a great location for really focusing on a downtown Prince George's economic development strategy. So if moving county government is a part of that strategy, then it can make some sense. The problem we have is that spending the tens of millions that it will take to do that, it sends the wrong message to residents if we can't simply open a police station that they need for their public safety and their security. So a lot of what we're talking about is what message are we sending to our residents when we proceed to a brand new building for a county government, but we don't proceed with a police station they need. I think we can address the issue of the county government building and economic development, but we can't do it without addressing first public safety.
In the 30 seconds we have left, let's end where we started. What's your expectation? How does this issue of the police station funding get resolved so that it can open?
Well, as I mentioned a few minutes ago, I believe the revenue and the money is there, right, in contingency. One of the reasons we asked agencies to set aside 2% of their budgets in contingency was to address any potential financial issue that we might address or confront during the year. That can be used in small part to address this issue, and I believe, and the council is firmly open to a dialogue with the county executive about doing that.
Mel Franklin, chairman of the Prince George's Council. Always great having you with us.
My pleasure.
A lot going on, a big issue. We really appreciate your time today.
Thank you so much.
Talk to you again. Back with the program note after this.